Why will Christians turn on Christians? Much of the things I've been covering in some of these Ask RCs have related to, as well as the preaching I've been doing in 1 Peter, they've related to the uptick in social persecution facing Christians. Just today, I read an account of a school teacher who spoke at a school board meeting against their proposed rule to require teachers to use pronouns of the student's choice, being fired for that. That's the kind of thing we're talking about. But I want us to understand a little bit about the dynamics that we should expect to see, because some of them might be surprising. And what I wanted to talk about today is this reality that as social pressure increases, we're going to find that it is Christians, or at least professing Christians, who are going to be the most virulent and vicious towards other professing Christians. And there's a very simple reason for that, and a very long history of that. The simple reason for that is that when Christians in general are in danger, it matters to those who are most fearful to differentiate themselves from those who are most ideologically opposed to those who are coming into power. Think about the final breakdown of Winston Smith in 1984, when he is in room 101 and they place the cage with the starving rats on his head. Eventually, and they're about to release these rats. His response is, "Give it to her. Give it to her." That is, he wants Julia to have to suffer instead of him. He'll betray that which he was closest to. Well, again, in the Christian realm, there are those who are so fearful of the disapproval of the world that they will try to garner the favor of the world by turning on us. Now, I mentioned that there's a history behind this as well. This is precisely what was going on in the dynamic between Jesus and the Pharisees. The Pharisees had been tasked by the Roman authorities with keeping the Jewish population in line. They went to Rome and said, if you give us these privileges, if you give us these liberties, if you give us this income, we will keep these people in line. And Jesus shows up, and the people are really, really excited about him. They perceive him as a military conqueror, and the Pharisees are freaking out. So they have to turn on Jesus, first to make it stop, and second to say, hey, we're not with him. Well, that's what's going to happen. We're going to have Christians who have caved on the sexual insanity of the broader culture, pointing their fingers at those of us who haven't caved. We're going to have Christians who caved on the necessity of corporate worship in the face of health concerns, turning on those who haven't done so. There is a desperate sense in so many in the church that we have to do anything to keep these people from being upset with us, not because we're trying to win their souls, but because we're trying to save our skins. Friends, I don't want you to, how do I put this? I want us to learn to be careful where we place our trust. I am not saying that only people who agree with me on this issue or that issue are actually Christians. Not at all. I am saying I want to be cautious who I feel safe with, because, again, those who fear the world will not hesitate to throw under the bus those who fear the Lord. I want to be one of those who fear the Lord, and I want to encourage all of you to be that too. And I want you to not be surprised. Remember, Jesus himself said there are those who will try to kill you who think they're giving service to God in doing so. That did not end in the first century. please be on your guard.